Oh, baby, baby, baby. We're back, guys. Welcome to the wonderful game of Dragon Quest. It's the solo quest, but no worries, we won't be solo today. For today, we're doing an event, a wonderful beach event, because it is the summer. And I do like this one. It's a pretty fun one. So it's the beach summer races, and we're not getting racist. What we're talking about today in the podcast form is the friends. Summer friends don't stay. Hey, hey. I felt like this would be a very helpful podcast topic to go over because, I think I've mentioned a couple times I'm really a lot of a loner, but I don't think that's really my choice. I think that's more of a environmental thing as well. I do ruminate over things and I do like thinking about things, but I'm all for self-actualization and growth, which means yeah, I do need friends. I do need people to, bounce off of to really learn myself. And I've noticed that. But there's a big reason why I call myself love, and I don't think I do love. I don't really love things. I literally am the entire essence of it because I just enjoy taking actions, and I can't help but sacrifice. Sometimes when people don't even need it, I just can't help but sacrifice. Um, which has led me to this path of just, being used, betrayed, heartbroken, all that bullshit that everybody goes through in their 20s. And, we all just kind of have to take a break. I'll call it taking a break, although I can't ever see myself really having a big friend group again. But yeah, definitely take a break from social interaction and things like that. But I would like to talk about, how important, how loving and cherished the friends that we have had, all the soulmates that you've met. Let me go elaborate on that. Soulmate as in anyone who changes your soul. That's my definition of it anyways. Yeah, there's not really one soulmate for a person. I feel like anyone who changes your soul in any way, you can just call them a soulmate. Guy, girl, crab, ogre, whatever they are. You really gotta give credit, give factions to, what has shaped your perspective and your emotions and, your general attitude in life, because it's not really shaped by us alone. It's definitely by the people around us. Whether they be here or not at the time. So, I would like to speak on that. I would like to speak on that because I feel like a lot of things in life are pushing us away from friendship in order to give us these false equivalencies through the internet. But if there's one lesson I can just skip to the end of the, podcast or whatever, there's one lesson I can just say here is just, go out, hit the beach, meet some people, do some outside things, especially if you're a loner like me. That's what I would tell myself to do in this situation. I mean, of course I'm not gonna fucking do it. But yeah, the important thing is exposure therapy. You gotta take baby steps and get out there a little bit at a time, just take one step outside a day. But let me get off my soapbox and just start complaining about the bullshit of life. Guys, the internet. It's one of the main reasons why I find it so hard to make friends. Crazy, right? So one of the reasons why, I've made friends on this MMO, of course, but, I take my time with conversating and, ruminating over topics and, being in discords or, getting in the chat. I just gotta take my time with it, or even interacting with people in general. Why I started the solo quest, because I have a problem. I have a problem. The rumination and the constant flow of conscious thought leads me to not read text like you're supposed to read text, or at least how I believe you're supposed to read text. Because I always have this third power, this third energy in my head that I feel like has to analyze things to their furthest extent, and if I stop it, then it just feels like it's like an urge that must be itched. And it's sort of a pathway that I've constantly gone down, just like anything else. If you don't go down it enough, it will eventually die out. But I'm not going to act like it's completely, completely detrimental. Because I do like the way my mind works. I'm not gonna say like, oh, it's horrible, I want to kill myself. But I'm not gonna deny that it leads me down some crazy thought patterns for people that, supposedly love me, supposedly hate me, whatever, man. I just consider way too many avenues of expression. Like some people, whenever they receive a text from someone, they read it in their voice. I sometimes do that. But mostly, I read that voice, I read the subtext, I think about what they didn't say, I think about the punctuation, I think about the timing of the text messages, I think about how fast it was from their last text message, I think about what I said last and how they could have responded to that, I think about if we were both in the same room, what their body language would be while they're saying, see, it goes way too deep, but I didn't even go through like half the shit that I thought about. Or that I routinely think about before I text back, message back, type back in chat. It's actually disgusting. But like I said, I don't hate that. I tend to try to do different things in the mind, and generally that just comes down to distraction. What the whole world feeds us and tells us this is what you need besides friendship. You just need to be distracted. Go on Tinder. Watch a YouTube video. But guys, distraction is really, really not going to give us what we are craving. The connection, the not necessarily validation, but I don't know, like the human element of life. And like I said, a lot of things with this internet bullshit and whatnot, it's just trying to replace it for us. It's trying to let us be like, you don't need these people. You don't need this bullshit, Friends are overrated. We are being individualized. But guys, like I said, you need other people to individualize yourself. And it's everything we look at that's making us think that we're the only lonely one. I assure you it's not. All those people you're seeing on Instagram scrolling through and, oh, look at this party I wasn't invited to. Everybody looks happy in this photo. But one of those motherfuckers in that photo is not happy. I assure you. Every group photo you take, there's at least one person who didn't want to be in that photo. I assure you. And it's all this, like, fear through the internet that's being perpetrated. Making us think that any awkward move, anything that's intrinsically us is going to be judged, regurgitated, and have us exiled from every community that we've ever wanted to be in. But I'd say, who cares? Maybe the community wasn't for you, and you need to build your own. You need to find your own way. Your own method of communication, your own method of building friends. And I think that's what traps us a lot. A lot of times we're like, especially extroverts, estrogenverts. I don't know what I'm talking about. Oftentimes extroverts get in these traps where they just kind of do whatever all their friends do. It doesn't matter if it really connects with them. Doesn't matter if it really makes sense to them. They just gotta be doing it because all their friends are doing it. And you gotta be not afraid to break free from the shell. Just like baby is breaking free from his clothes. Okay, no, I'm kidding. I'm putting a swimsuit on. You do get a cool little swimsuit from this quest as well. A very cute one. You get the t-shirt shorts swimsuit. Last year they had a cooler one with the hot shorts, hot shot shorts that I believe Ogre Lady is wearing right now. But that's only on my other file. I believe this is like. It's like the second time they've actually done this event. But essentially here, let me get to the Dragon Quest talk for a second here. I'm going to pause the podcast. We're doing a race with this dull board. We had to do a quest to make it. But now we have a water dull board. It looks cool. And essentially this is the racetrack. It's a little half circle. And it's a whole race event. So you race other people through the dull boards. You actually have to unlock that quest for the boost. If you don't unlock the boost quest, you're just going to be really slow, and you're definitely not going to win. So, we did that a couple of episodes back on the No Stress side quest, portion of the playthrough if you want to go back and watch that. But yeah, this is just a little race here. This is the trial or the quiz or the test run practice, whatever. And then we're gonna get a cutscene, and then we'll do the real one. On the real one, there'll be ramps. Well, actually, I think there are ramps now. Yeah, on the ramps though, there'll be boosts so that you can use your boost even longer. This is actually a really fun event. I just don't know how to go fast on it. A lot of people get times like 2:04, 2:08. I am a 2:14 baby. Can't get no better than that, and I'm not really mad about it. So, yeah. Um, yeah, I think a lot of things with technology are increasingly making us just more and more okay with the fact that we are desperately searching for connection in the wrong places. And then we're getting all these things coming out that are like, this is gonna make you connect better. I'm like, no, it's not, Tinder. Having the hype feature is not gonna work. Putting dating in Roblox is not going to work. What the fuck are we talking about here? It's like great, fantastic. I'll be more lonely now. Fantastic. How could I not be lonely when I'm attracted to these characters too, right? Like look at this. Look at this. Amazing wetties. Okay, moving on. But the fact of the matter is, we are all individual characters, and we have to be accepting of who we are and who other people are, and not treat every uncomfortable moment, every time you get mad at someone, just push it down and then, or block them and move on to the next one. These friendships, these relationships, this love that we give, like I said, it's not without sacrifice. It always has to have sacrifice, and sometimes the sacrifice is the awkward moments, the weird conversations, the confrontations, and I'm goddamn, I'm like the least confrontational person I know. And even still, at least it's in my life. I don't know about other people's lives, but even still in my life, I'm usually the one leading the confrontations, which is stupid, right? Like, I'm not confrontational, but I still have to confront people. There's no way to get out of this shit, guys. There is no way to get out of life. You just have to go directly through it. You have to send that text. You have to make that call. But at least for me, yeah, just not talking is way easier, way easier. I think that is how it is for a lot of people. Like, that's the easy way out. Just like most things, if you just sacrifice yourself, you don't have to deal with anything else. It's an easy path to destruction. And I think that's why I didn't really endeavor to try to make friends. I just let, friends come to me, and then, they need something, sacrifice. I never delved to try to make my own friends, which is crazy. It's crazy to think that I've been bullied into every friendship I've ever had, but it's very true. I don't care. That's why I consider myself love. I am the embodiment of sacrifice for other people, but I will never do it for myself, which is why I'm very glad I'm doing this. I mean, definitely not for anybody else. All these videos get like one view. So allow me to destroy the algorithm. Destroy your algorithm. Drop a like if you like this one. And infect it with my own brand of bullshit. I always hate slop. I always hated content. I always hated reactions. Didn't really hate gameplay or let's plays. That's kind of the main content I watch. But my biggest hate of content on the internet is, people who just vlog or talk about their lives, because it really is a highlight reel lying to people about how great and successful you are. Every time. There's nothing real about it. And in fact, there's nothing real about this. If this was really real, I'd show you, like when I opened up porn at 3 a.m. and then couldn't get back to sleep, and then 2 hours later it's 5:48, and here I am. That's the real shit. That's the real sadness. But we're on the road to recovery, as always. I feel like you have to accept that you're getting better, and move towards that if you want to build something. Of course, if you don't want to build anything, then just keep doing your debauchery thing. But I'd say even still, if you're there and you feel like you can't move anywhere else, and you feel like you have to be in this hole, then delve deeper in the hole with the mindset of building back up. Because you can go deeper into debauchery. You can do some crazy, disgusting shit with just a mindset that this is not going to be forever. 10 years from now, it's not going to be me. You can do that. And as a matter of fact, I've said this before, I believe you should do that. If you have any kind of vice, go motherfucking in. Life is short. I don't care if it causes you to lose your job. I don't care if it causes you to lose your girlfriend. I don't care. I don't care. All that stuff wasn't for you. You know what's for you? Overcoming this addiction. And you know how you overcome the addiction? You go retard mode. And then you'll figure out why you need it. You'll figure out, like, what am I missing that's making me have to go to this? Because eventually, you keep doing that shit enough and it's not really going to have the same effect. And you're going to be like, okay, well, what is this other thing that I actually really want? You're going to figure out what it is. Maybe it was the girlfriend. Maybe it was the job. You don't know. Like, I know, for me, personally, I've realized that just the grind, the build, the silent growth is really, really what drives me. And I have a problem connecting. I have a big problem connecting. Because these big conversations that, everybody tends to just avoid and shit, I made it like a strategy to avoid that shit. When people text me, is everything okay? I'm just like, well, I'm never responding to that one. Like, it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible how I dodge those situations because I feel like I'm not ready to commit to my feelings. Because, like, what the fuck are my feelings? I'm just a loving guy. Like, I can't help but throw the love out everywhere. And we've experienced life. We've experienced all that bullshit. So we know throwing the love out everywhere doesn't work. You need to fully embody what you are, what you want to be, what you and God want to do in life. You got to fully embody that. And then just embrace what you attract and what you naturally repel. And the problem with life is that some people really, really want you. Your aura repels them, but they still want you. So you have to be mean. You have to. You have to be mean. And I'm just so uncomfortable with that. I'm so uncomfortable with just telling some motherfucker to fuck off. I would rather block them. I would. And just never speak to them again. And as a matter of fact, I have done this with a lot of people. A lot of people I've realized I've sacrificed a lot for. And if they ever texted me again, I wouldn't have anything to ask for them. I wouldn't have any gratitude to give to them. I wouldn't want anything from them. So I just blocked them. There's really no reason to have that lingering in the air. That storm cloud above you, just waiting for something bad to happen. There's no reason for that for me. And it may sound mean that, I'm so selfish you can't give someone some words of clarity. Don't we love that word? But not everybody needs your power, your energy. Sometimes you can dedicate that to something else and that would help them just as much. Of course in a different way. It would still put a positive impact on people though. And that's what we're going towards. At first in life, I thought it was just, I was just here to just make everybody feel good. I'm like, but that's not the full thing. You're really here to make a positive impact on people. And, maybe not so much perhaps let people know that you're in their corner, but let people know that you're not trying to destroy them, but you're trying to build yourself up. And a lot of times that gets people kind of hot, that gets people kind of going, that gets people kind of horny. Like, oh shit, he's just doing it for himself? Oh my god. Yeah, and I don't know why. It really turns people off to see this motherfucker just do everything for everybody else and do nothing for himself. It turns people off. I know it turns me off. Like, ew, why are you so sacrificial? For people you're not even dating, for these so-called friends. And it's really disgusting how this friend word can be thrown around so much for basically just to get over on someone. I remember not too long ago I watched a video of a girl pushing her friend. You can't see me. I'm putting quotation marks up. Pushed her friend off of a waterfall or a cliff or something when she wasn't ready, and then, horrible injuries, all that bullshit. Yeah. The thing is, we all really want friends, but we don't want the work that comes with them. It's the same thing with relationships and girlfriends and stuff. And I don't think we should really be doing this metagaming bullshit and, getting like 8,000 different people in business relationships and shit like that. But you see, the internet has done that for us. Our grandparents didn't have to make friends like this. Now, your friendship is your business. And girls have, they've adapted to that. I can't adapt to that. I can't have a business friendship and just, keep track and keep a Rolodex of all these favors I've done for them. All these favors I've done for them. It's just a feeling. Just a feeling. If you feel like someone's not giving you what you need, just leave. Just leave. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry I'm perpetuating this bullshit culture of just rejecting and throwing people out, but that's honestly all I know how to do, man. I am so scared. That fear of, being destroyed again from the inside holds me back now. So that's what I need to work on. And in order to fully encompass the energy I need to be willing to accept it. Willing to accept that friendship. Got this cool surfboard from the event, so I'll show it off before we exit here. But that's about all I wanted to talk about, guys. Good old friends, maybe you should have a beach trip with your buddies, soon. I bought this cool ass beach towel that I haven't even used, this picnic blanket that I haven't even used. I think, one of my last birthdays, I don't know if it was like birthday 28 or 27, I went to a picnic, which was very nice. And then, years later, I bought this blanket and I still haven't used it for that. So, perhaps one day, right? Perhaps one day I'll find someone. Reciprocal. But for now, we gotta reciprocate with ourselves. We have to associate with ourselves. Truly find who you are. And like I said, you're just gonna attract, repel who wants to be around you, who doesn't want to be around you. It's not really that deep. But you have to know yourself and know, just what you really want to deal with in general. It's just like jobs, guys. Don't get too good at what you don't like. If you have a friend around who really loves you and really wants to be around you, but for some reason you just feel weird or awkward around them, or like you have to act like someone else around them, it's not worth it, man. It's not worth it. And so many people think, the abundance mindset is somehow not there. I'm telling you, man, shitloads of people on the world, and may not be as easy to find them all nowadays because they're all inside, but we'll figure it out.
Bunch of tank top, nappy headed bike stealing, shadow boys. None of my niggas ain't had no dad. None of my niggas ain't had no choice. JJ, Mikey, Lil Derek and them. 79th Street was America then.